Like skiing has always been my escape, my way of finding peace in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by towering peaks and endless fields of untouched snow. But after what happened to me last winter, I don't think I'll ever set foot on a mountain again. It started when a group of my friends and I planned a weekend getaway to a remote ski resort in Montana. The place had been around for decades, but it wasn't as popular as the big-name resorts. That's what we liked about it. No crowds, no long lift lines, just us and the mountains. The lodge was small but cozy, a rustic wooden building at the base of the slopes with a roaring fireplace in the lobby and the faint smell of pine in the air. The first day was perfect. Fresh powder, clear blue skies, and long, exhilarating runs down the slopes. But as the sun set and the mountain cast long, eerie shadows over the snow, I began to feel off. A strange sense of unease settled over me, like we were being watched. I chalked it up to paranoia and exhaustion, but I couldn't shake the feeling. That night, as we sat around the fireplace, a man approached us. He was older, his face weathered and lined from years in the cold. He introduced himself as Hank, a local who had been skiing these mountains for over 40 years. His eyes were intense, filled with something I couldn't quite place. "You kids be careful up there," he warned. "These mountains don't like outsiders." We laughed it off, thinking he was just an old man trying to scare us. But then he told us about the vanishing skier. Years ago, a young man had gone skiing alone late in the afternoon, venturing into one of the more isolated trails. When he didn't return, a search party was sent out, but they never found him. No tracks, no signs of a struggle, just his ski poles standing upright in the snow as if he had planted them there and walked away. "Some say the mountain took him," Hank said, lowering his voice, "that it calls to people, lures them away." That night, I barely slept. The next morning, my friends wanted to explore some of the backcountry trails beyond the main runs. I was hesitant, but I didn't want to be the coward of the group. We took the lift to the highest point of the resort, where a narrow trail led into the deeper woods. The moment we passed the boundary, what happens next will haunt you. Watch the full story now on Frightful Murmurs.